Good morning, children. Today we are going to do chapter 7, Getting to Know Plants. You must have seen so many plants till now. A wide variety of plants. Some are as big as banyan tree and some are as small as grass. You must have seen a variety of leaves, big leaves, small leaves, single leaves, so many leaves together. Variety of colors in leaves other than green. Different colors of leaves you must have seen. Also a wide variety of flowers. Small flowers, big flowers, single petal flowers, so many petals in a flower. So there are a variety in plants. And these what you have seen are just the plants around you. And if you consider the whole world, there are many more varieties which you must never have seen before. You also have learned about different parts of a plant. You know which is the root, which is stem, what are branches, leaves, flowers, fruits. These are the parts of the plant. Now, these plants are classified in three categories: herbs, shrubs, and trees. And how are they classified? According to their size and according to the stems. Like herbs are very small plants. So tomato and brinjal plants, they are small in size, so they are also called herbs. Shrubs are plants which are slightly bigger in size, maybe of your height or slightly taller than you. So those are called shrubs, like lemon, rose, all these are shrubs because they grow into a taller plant. And then the big ones which are very tall, like mango trees, jamun tree, neem tree, all these are called trees. Also, the branches are different, or we can say the stems are different. For herbs, the stem is green, it is tender. If you bend it, it will be soft. But for trees, these branches are hard, and if you try to break, it will they'll break. They'll not bend, but they will break. So these are the basis on which plants are categorized into herbs, shrubs, and trees. Look at this table here. If you fill this table, you will get to know the difference between herbs, shrubs, and trees. So plants with green and tender soft stems, they are called herbs. They are short in height and they do not have many branches, like as in trees. Some plants, they have branches from the base of the stem. Their stem is hard but not very thick. So, and these plants are slightly taller. These plants are called shrubs. Some plants, they are very tall, they have hard and thick stems, and these stems or branches are on the upper part of the tree, much above the ground. Such plants are called trees. But other than these herbs, shrubs, and trees, there is another variety of plants. These plants have very weak stems. They cannot stand upright. So some of the plants, they spread on the ground. Like watermelon, it is called a creeper. Another variety is of those that take the support and climb up. That support can be of a wall or another tree or anything. So such plants are called climbers, like money plant. These are different from herbs, shrubs, and trees. These climbers and creepers are neither herbs, nor shrubs, nor trees. Now let's discuss each part of a plant separately. First, let's talk about stem. You all must have seen the stem of a plant. The stem bears all the parts of the plant. What does this mean? That on stem only you will find the leaves, branches, flowers, fruits, buds, everything. Let's do one activity to understand the functioning of stem, what the stem does. You have to take a glass. In that, take some colored water. It can be red color or blue color water. Cut a stem from the base and put it in the glass. And that stem should have some leaves and preferably a flower, a light colored flower, and most preferred will be a white flower. It will be best if that branch that stem has a white flower on it. Now put the stem in that colored water and leave it for few hours. What will you see after some time? That the water has moved up to the leaves. How will you see that? That the veins of the leaves will change the color. And if there is a white flower, then after few hours you will see the color of that white flower also changing. If you have used a red color water, you can see red color appearing on that white flower. If you have used a blue color water, you can see blue color appearing on that flower. So this activity proves that stem transports or takes water from one place to another. If you cut the stem, then also you can see colored pigments there. This proves that water and minerals, they are transported to different parts of the plant through stem. So this is the function of stem. Now let's learn about the second part of the plant, that is leaf. Leaf is an important part of the plant. First let's see the different parts of a leaf. You can see here a leaf, and leaf is attached to the stem, and that part from where it is attached to the stem is called petiole. This flat green surface of the leaf is called lamina. You can see so many lines running all through the leaves. The center one, which is broad, thick one in the middle, that is called midrib, and all the remaining lines which are originating or coming out from the midrib is called veins. This network of veins is called leaf venation. Leaf venation is of two types, reticulate venation and parallel venation. In reticulate venation, you can see a net-like design on both the sides of the midrib. And whereas in parallel venation, the veins are seen parallel to one another. What are the functions of a leaf? Leaf does two very important functions for a plant. First one is transpiration and the second one is photosynthesis. What is transpiration? Plants, they release a lot of water into the air. This process is called transpiration, and this process is done by leaves. And how is this helpful for plants? Only because of transpiration, the roots absorb water from the soil. So transpiration is very important, and it is important for the environment. It keeps the environment cool. That's why whenever we go under a tree, we feel cool. The reason is there is lots of water vapor surrounding a tree because the leaves have sent that water into the atmosphere. We can check this transpiration with a small activity. Tie a polythene bag on a branch which is having few leaves on it. Leave it for few hours. You can see droplets of water inside the polythene bag. From where does these drops of water have come? They are the drops of water which was released by the plant. So this activity shows us the process of transpiration is done by leaves. The second very important function of leaves is making food for the plant. You must have learnt earlier also that leaves are called the kitchen of the plant because they prepare food for the whole plant by the process of photosynthesis, where they use carbon dioxide and sunlight and water and produce food and also release oxygen into the atmosphere. How to check this through an activity? What you will do is take a leaf, put it in a spirit and you have to boil it. Boiling in a spirit removes all the color of the leaf. All its green color will be gone. And after this green color is removed from the leaf, you have to take out that leaf, put some iodine solution on it. Putting an iodine solution changes the color. Once the iodine solution changes its color to blue back, we know that there is a presence of starch. And from where has this starch come? This starch is the food which is prepared by the leaves. This activity proves that leaves prepare food for the plant. This food, when it is excess in amount, it is stored in various parts of the plant, and those parts of the plant we consume as food. Whether it's flower, whether it is fruit, sometimes stem, we eat all these wherever the food is stored. The next part of the plant that we are going to discuss here is roots. Roots are very important for a plant to grow. If there are no roots, the plant will not grow. And to understand this, you can do a small activity. You have to take two plants which are similar. You have to pot them. First one as it is, and for the second plant you have to cut the root and put it in the pot. You keep watering the plant. You can provide the fertilizer also, but then too the plant which is without the roots is going to die after a few days. The reason is roots, they absorb the soil from the soil, minerals, water, etc. for the plant to prepare their food. So if roots are not there, who's going to do this work? So roots are important for the survival of plants. There is another important function of root, that is they anchor the plant firmly in the soil. They hold the plant in the soil. And you must have read about soil erosion, that plants, they prevent soil erosion because they hold the soil, the roots, they hold the soil firmly, and so the plants can stand straight in the soil. This you can understand with an activity. You have to take few seeds of gram, maize, and you put them in cotton. Make the cotton wet by putting some water every day. Leave it for few days. You will see that the roots come out of it, and after few days these sprouts, they'll be holding to one another very firmly. If you try to separate each one of them, it will be difficult for you. So this activity proves that roots, they firmly hold the plant in the soil. Okay. Now, like you have different types of leaves, you have different types of flowers, you have different types of stem. Similarly, you have different types of roots also. The two main types of roots are taproot and fibrous root. You can see the difference here. Taproot has a thick main root, and there are various lateral roots growing by its side. Whereas in fibrous roots, all the roots are similar to one another. Now, the type of roots has also something to do with the type of leaves or the leaf venation which we learnt just now. Two types of venation, parallel venation and reticulate venation. So most of the plants which have taproot, they will have reticulate venation, whereas plants with fibrous roots mostly have parallel venation. So we learned that roots absorb water and minerals from the soil, and stem conducts these to leaves and other parts of the plant. Leaves, they prepare food. This food also travels through stem to different parts of the plant. Now coming to the next part of the plant, that is flower. What do these flowers do? Flowers are the most beautiful part of a plant, and there are a variety of flowers. Different plants bear different colorful flowers on them. But all flowers are not that attractive and so colorful. If you see the flowers of grass, wheat, maize, mango or guava, they are not brightly colored and they are also very small in size. Let's discuss about the different parts of a flower. And after watching this video, you can collect some flowers and remove these different parts and observe for yourself.
by doing this activity, which is mentioned as activity 10 in your textbook. So what you see as the most colorful part of the flower are called its petals. Sometimes the flowers have various petals and sometimes they have only one petal in it. Like if you observe a Dhatura flower, it seems like it is having 5 petals, but all these petals are joined together as one. You must have seen a bud which is enclosed in green leaf-like structures. These green leaf-like structures are called sepals and they protect the bud. In a hibiscus flower, these sepals are joined as one, whereas in rose, all these sepals are separate. To observe the remaining parts which are inside, you have to remove these sepals and petals carefully. And what you can see inside are stamens and pistil. Pistil is also called carpel. So you will see stamens and carpels inside the flower. These stamens have two parts, anther and filament. You have observed pollen grains. Those pollen grains are inside the anther. Anthers are also different in number in different flowers. If you observe a Dhatura flower, you will find few stamens there, whereas in a hibiscus flower or a rose flower, you will find so many stamens inside. The next part, if you remove these stamens, you can see another part inside which is called pistil or carpel. It is the innermost part of the flower and it is divided in 3 parts: stigma, style and ovary. If you carefully cut open the ovary, you will see small seed-like structures inside which are called ovules. These ovules are going to grow into seeds later, and this ovary becomes the fruit of the plant. So these are the parts of a flower. These parts can be very easily observed with the help of a magnifying glass if you choose a Dhatura flower or a shoe flower, that is hibiscus flower. But remember, the structure of flower is different in each flower. Number of sepals, petals, stamens, pistils, they are also different in different flowers, and even some of these parts may be absent at times. So in this chapter, we learned about some features and functions of leaves, stems, roots, and we also studied about the different structures or parts of a flower.